Today on the Tiny Titans podcast, we are talking about siblings of Tiny Titans in the NICU. So if you are inpatient or know someone who's in the NICU and they have children at home that they are currently going back and forth between home and the NICU, this episode is about you. Oh, I love that sound, but only for this drink. Every other drink, the sound is gross. Yep. Hi, welcome to the Tiny Titans podcast. I'm Katie. This is episode 7, I think. Episode 7. How are you doing? Have you seen the other 6 episodes? We're kind of getting into a little more meat of what I wanted to get into on this podcast. I really wanted to just be a hub of stories. So if you are in the NICU or if you were just in the NICU and you're trying to reconcile and process all of the information and things that you went through or are going through, maybe you find this channel and can relate and process. We can process together. So today, we're going to talk about sibling support in the NICU. I know of a couple of hospitals that do this really, really well through their child life services. And this is kind of a growing thing because preemie babies are being saved earlier and earlier and earlier. In fact, I'm a part of many groups on Facebook for medical families and preemie moms and NICU families. And someone on one of those groups posted that the youngest preemie in the United States was just recently born, I believe, to fact check this because this is what I know to be true. I was just informed a couple days ago, unless someone else has been born in the last couple of days, 21 weeks, 0 days for a preemie that is still in the NICU in Iowa. That's crazy. That's a full 9 days earlier than Carter was born. That's insane. Like crazy insane. I had heard about 21 weekers that had survived in the UK. And Switzerland was where we were going to get our ventilator from. So I know that they were kind of more medically advanced than we are in some ways, especially for tiny, tiny parts for tiny, tiny babies. All that aside, today we're talking about sibling support. So as they're able to keep babies younger and younger earlier and be able to help them survive, we're having more and more older kids that are at home with parents with babies in the NICU. It's a very hard thing to balance. I've had to do this twice. Once when Carter was in the NICU with Cassie. Cassie was 5 at the time, and then Cassie was 6 and Carter was 1, and Carter was medically complex on oxygen with a G-tube here at the house while we were going back and forth with the NICU with Colby. So it's hard to juggle, and we were an hour and a half-ish away from the baby at any given time. If you were not in the NICU, you were about an hour, hour and a half away from Colby or Carter, whoever was in the NICU. So it's hard. It's really, really hard to try and separate your time, to try and figure out who you're going to prioritize today. Do you have a care team meeting at the NICU? Does your child have a play date or like a school function that you're trying to attend? Are you just trying to get a mental break and reset your family? All of those things are hard to navigate. And I recently had made a couple of friends on these groups on Facebook that reminded me of these instances. It's very difficult to do this, and you're don't want to leave your baby in the NICU at all, and you do that, and then you go home and have to try and explain why you were gone, where you were, what you were doing, and why that was more important than why you weren't spending time with the older child. It's so difficult. When Cassie was 5, when she was 6 and Carter was home, it was a little bit easier. But when she was 5, it was really, really hard, especially in like the first like 6 months that Carter was in the NICU, was alive. But because she just didn't get it. First of all, it's hard for a child to wrap their head around having a sibling, even when they're at home. So now it's like you have a sibling, but she's very far away and you cannot see her at all. So, and Cassie did not meet Carter until January. So August, September, October, November, December. Wow, she was almost 6 months whenever Cassie met her the first time. So that whole time we were having to try and explain through pictures and videos and video chats to Cassidy how things were going in the NICU, why mommy had to be gone, why daddy had to be gone, why mommy and daddy both had to be gone at the same time. So we're just going to talk about some things that we discovered while we were in the NICU that really helped Cassie bridge the gap between having a sibling but not having that sibling at home, and processing that. So a lot of that is physicality, like being able to put your hands on it or go to a place. So the first thing that really helped Cassie was when we were in Chicago for Carter's heart surgery. We had to go to a different hospital, and the child life specialist there had many great ideas, which we'll talk about today. But the first one that was super, super simple and worked really well for Cassie is a teddy bear. She got them, this child life specialist that I'm talking about, she got my girls, Cassie and Carter, matching teddy bears. Now this could be anything. It could be a teddy bear. It could be a Spider-Man action figure. It could be a train. Whatever is going to relate to your child, if you would like to do it that way. This could be cheap. This could be expensive. However you want to do it. But we got identical bears, and we call them the sissy bears. Both of them have a sissy bear. And so what we did was we would take the bear, mainly me, I would do it, my husband would do this too. It's kind of like Flat Stanley, if you know what that is. Basically, one bear goes down to live in the NICU, and one bear is here to live at home, and then the bears go to each location to have sleepovers. So I have lots of pictures of the bears in different locations, and we did that so that we could say, see, this bear was in Carter's bed right there, right next to her. And then see, I would put hats on them and decorate them for different holidays, which was super kind of fun for me too, to be able to put like little accessories on them. And then it would also be a decoration for Carter's room in the NICU. So this is the first thing that we did. And Carter was in the NICU for 9 months. So we did this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We got them in October. So from October to June. This is Carter's. It is not as mashed up as Cassie's. Cassie's is well loved. If I showed you hers, it's smashed. But she still sleeps with hers also. She does not sleep without her sissy bear. That is her comfort for nighttime. She doesn't sleep without her sissy bear. So that's the first thing that was like a really big physical help, because Cassie could hold the bears. She could have both of them at the same time. Both of them could go to the NICU. And Cassie, at this time, when Carter was in the NICU, was in... Go ahead, babe. Hi. I love you. Okay, I don't remember where I was, but we'll find out. Number 1. Love it. Number 2. Oh, hold on. Okay, I should be more prepared. It'll be fine. Okay, this same child life specialist that suggested the sissy bears and got them the bears also suggested a mailbox. She made this, the child life specialist. It's literally a gloves box with duct tape to secure it. Cassie's favorite color is yellow, so she used yellow. Here's the top. So cute. Cassie's special big sister mailbox. So my husband and my daughter primarily use this. Whenever Carter was in the NICU, we both used it. But because my husband is the one who works outside of the house and I stay home with the girls, they are the ones who use this now. But they still use this. Even my husband gets the little tiny notepads to keep in here. So what we use this for is for whoever was going to be gone. There were lots of times whenever one of us, my husband or I, would be gone before Cassie was up for school, or we would be gone before she was going to bed, so we wouldn't be able to say goodnight to her. So those are really big things for Cassie. And so this way we could leave a little note, and we could talk to her about other things this way too. Remind her to do things that would help her with her routine. Anything. You can use probably anything. I had seen another person use just a Kleenex box. It just has an open place and they just put the papers in there. Also, with this idea, it gave Cassie something to look forward to. She knew that it was happening, that there would be a message from mom or dad in the box, and she knew to check it. So the other kind of bonus that happened is it is helping her read and write. So that's kind of just like an extra thing that's happening. So since we homeschool, that's kind of a cool thing that's happening as well. So again, mailbox, very easy. You can make one yourself, or if you have a leftover Valentine's Day box, that would be cool. It's a really sweet idea especially for older kiddos. If you're not going to be where you are. Even if you have older kiddos that are like 10, 11, 12, 14 or something, and they have phones and you would text them back and forth, a physical message, like a paper handheld message, for a kid especially, is way more personal. So it could help with bridging that gap of, like, I'm not here right now, but I am thinking about you still. The other thing that I would do is Cassie would make me jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, and things, and I would wear them to the NICU, take pictures of me with the jewelry on and holding Carter, and then come back and show her those. Anything that I could take to the NICU, bring back with me, was very big for Cassie. So one more thing that I want to talk about that was really helpful for her, because it was another physical thing she could hold on to. Sorry, watching the girls again. So we had a sibling day at the hospital where I had the girls. And the activity craft for that day was to make a rice baby. You might know this craft already. The only thing that makes it special is because the weight is not just any weight or any baby. You use the weight that your preemie or your NICU baby was. So in our case, Carter was 1 pound 7 ounces. And so that's what we made the sock baby. Now the sock baby is well loved and was carried a lot and slept with. So this is what the sock baby looks like now. It did not always look like this, and this has been moved several times. But it's a physical thing. It's also the size of your child that the sibling gets to hold and carry and be with. The physical part is so important for kiddos to feel connected to everything that's happening. And I know lots of NICUs that still have really strict rules on siblings coming in because of germs, which they should, and I get that. It just makes it really hard for the family to feel connected. So I actually really love the idea of the sibling day like happening at the hospital but not in the NICU. So like we could talk to other adults and the nurses and people who worked in the NICU and things like that. So that was really cool thing. So those things really helped Cassie connect mentally and physically to Carter before they came home, and also to Colby before she came home, because I think Cassie saw Colby once in the NICU and she saw Carter maybe 3 times. I think 3 times in 9 months, which is basically 0 if you're 5. So it's really hard for parents to like figure out a balance, but it's also really hard for siblings, especially younger siblings, to even comprehend what is going on. So if you can bring a physical something into the situation, we found it really helps. And like I said, with the case of the sissy bears, she literally sleeps with hers every single night. So it helps pass that as well, kind of commingling everything together. Oh, I know. A spin-off kind of the mailbox idea. I've seen other parents use just a regular notebook to go back and forth, and they can kind of record their conversation. So that's kind of cool if you're keeping like a memory keepsake type thing. That would be another idea. So those are things that really helped us, our family, while we were in the NICU. Again, we were in the NICU for 343 days combined total. What is that? Minus 21 days, so over 300 days that we were in the NICU, that Cassie was a sibling. So the other thing I was going to mention is video chats. I mentioned that at the beginning of the episode, but we did a lot of video chatting while Doug and I were at the NICU with Cassie, so that she could see the space, she could see some of the nurses. They were great and wanted to talk to her and meet her. So we did all anything. And then also I think it really helped Carter, because Carter was like right in Cassie's pocket. Like as soon as Carter came home, she did not take any time to acclimate or anything. So I think that really helped Carter, even probably on a subconscious level, where she is too little to really know, but she recognizes her voice, she recognizes her face and things like that. So I think that really helped. So if you're able to do these types of things, and I also know some really great groups that are in different hospitals, they do these types of activities. So you might be able to just kind of plug in with a group that's with your NICU that's already doing these types of things. So also, I want to start a reminder I guess we're at the end of the podcast. I want to start a reminder for if you are inpatient in the NICU right now, please do not forget to talk to people. It's really, really easy to just internalize everything that's going on, to be super overwhelmed with the information that you're given at rounds and when you go to bedside to see your baby. You just get so overloaded that you forget to even let anything out. So I just want to remind parents of NICU babies that are currently in the NICU to talk to people. If people reach out to you, try really hard to break out of that I'm fine, everything's fine, no problems, nothing changed today. It's very easy to be super vague because they don't necessarily know the jargon, but people are reaching out to try and help. And if you are needing to connect with a NICU mom, reach out to your nurse coordinator, your nurse manager, if you haven't already, to try and network with other moms that might be going through the same type of things with their baby. They might have babies the same age as your baby, or they might be like a year past where you are, and then you're going to kind of do similar things that the mom that you're talking to has done. So if you have not connected with another NICU mom like that, make sure you do that. It makes it easier to maybe have even just one person where you can just word vomit and not have to filter and not have to explain, and just someone who already gets it, has already been there or is there right now, and they are right where you are. So this is your reminder to plug in. Piggybacking off of that, this is your reminder, if you know someone who's in the NICU, to reach out. A text, send a card, phone calls might be obsolete right now. However you want to reach out, however you're comfortable, it will mean more to them than they probably will even know. So here's your reminder to reach out to a NICU family. Thank you so much for being interested in this podcast and for watching the podcast. If you have questions, comments, concerns about things I've talked about, you can comment. You can also email the Tiny Titans podcast at gmail.com, which comes right to me, and I would be happy to talk to you and meet you. If you're a NICU parent who's looking for a network, I can help with that with other NICU parents that might be in other states. Or if you want to talk, I will be here to vent too. So thanks for watching the podcast. It was a great episode on sibling support in the NICU. And have a great day. Till next time.